Turbo Grips. Here with one of my favorites, Chuck Gardner, Pro Shop owner and Brunswick Tour Rep.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very important job.
I think it's important. I think it's important. Just maybe just a overgrown babysitter a lot of times, but try to be technical and try and help the players do the best they can do with our equipment.
It's a tough job. It's definitely a tough job. I've known many of you guys for years. I mean, you got to be a mentor, you got to be a babysitter, you got to be a technician, you got to be all those things.
Yes.
A wife and a confidant and all those things.
Yeah, the hardest thing is to console them when they have a bad block or when they have a bad tournament, and because sometimes you go, you're a grown man, you should be able to take it, but sometimes they can't. So,
the agony of defeat, is that like the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat kind of thing?
Well, 2 weeks ago we had the thrill of victory with Deandra and Brian winning the doubles. That was fantastic for Brunswick and for Turbo.
Right.
And then this week,
not so much.
Not so much, but Bill O'Neill won, Turbo guy. So
excellent. Yeah,
great to see that.
First major.
Even though he's a hammer guy, but that's okay. We still love him.
That's right.
When he was a rookie on tour, I was his tour rep.
Unbelievable.
So
it's been amazing. Fun. It's actually, we talked to Bill earlier, the growth, to be coming out of the collegiate ranks and to see him out on tour and grinding through these years and now finally to get it.
Look at what he is now.
It's thrilling to watch.
It's fun.
So as a tour rep, Chuck, there's a lot of challenges in and of that. I mean, the equipment constantly changes. These conditions constantly change, the environments in which they're bowling, the different houses. I mean, what is your greatest challenge as a tour rep? Not a lot of people know about these reps that actually have to basically take care or make sure that these players have the equipment.
I think the hardest thing to do is to devise a strategy that the player buys into and that the lane condition will allow you to play. So strategy, I think, is a huge part of being a tour rep. You need to have a plan because they're going to bowl 7 or 8 or 10 games or however many games they're going to bowl. And once they start, you can't talk to them anymore.
That's right. We talked about that. Del Ballard, we talked about Del Ballard earlier, said that. That's changed. Del was a tour rep 10 years ago, and he finds himself back out here again. And that's one of the things now. You cannot talk, once the competition starts, you cannot talk to them anymore. So
it's actually harder now than it was back then because if you see something, now you just agonize with, boy, did we make a bad decision. It's time to make that change to that other ball, and they're not doing it.
Yep.
You can't tell them they need to do it. It's time to do it. You can't tell them. So it's really important to have that strategy and really go through, okay, after game 3, we should be able to go to this ball. We should be able to make this change, and you wait for it to happen. And if they don't make the change, it's really tough. It's tough for them and it's tough for you sitting there waiting for it.
Yeah, right. Brunswick C System, that's been a pretty hot ball this year.
Absolutely. The C System 2.5.
Great things about it.
The 2.5 and 3.5 are both doing really well. And we're starting to, the consumer is getting to see the ball more thanks to Turbo and their switch grip program and with grips, obviously. We're doing the demo deal with you guys, and I think it's really been successful for Brunswick. Helping to let the consumer throw our bowling balls and have a decent fit. Came up with a pretty nice program, and it's really done well.
Chuck actually wears 2 hats because he's a tour rep those 20 weeks out of the year, but he's also a pro shop owner down in North Carolina?
North Carolina and Florida, South Carolina too. I have 4 stores.
So a couple states. So he's also a pro shop owner, which is a little bit different environment than this environment. But yes, we've actually partnered with Brunswick. We've been doing our Try Before You Buy program, and they've been using the switch grip system to demo new bowling equipment. And I think that's kind of what we were alluding to with Brunswick. And Chuck's shop in particular has been using switch grip
ever since they came out.
Yeah. So, in those early years, I'm sure you can attest, we had a couple bumps in the road. But we've remained committed to this product, so much so that now Brunswick is using it in their demo programs. And I think that's, we kind of give ourselves a little pat on the back, and hopefully it's a...
Absolutely. And the product has evolved.
Yep.
There were a few challenges in the beginning, but it's evolved to even be better than I ever thought it would be. I loved it I loved it in the very beginning, but I love it even more now because I have more confidence that we're not going to have any issues.
Do you demo balls now in your shop? Like if I'm a consumer, I come in, I want to try a C system, I'm not really sure what I'm in the market for, you do that?
Absolutely.
And how has the response been to that? Because that's something that's very, we as a consumer have never had the opportunity to go into a pro shop and to try a ball before we bought it. And now because of interchangeable technology, you can actually go into a pro shop, they'll put this interchangeable thumb in your ball, in a ball that's on display, and allow you to try it. So Chuck has been offering this in his shop, and what has the feedback been? I mean,
it's great. It's fantastic. The consumer, the hardest thing in the pro shop business is protect the consumer from themselves. You know, they all want this big hooking ball that hooks this much on the back of the lane.
Like their buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that may not be what's the best for them, or it may not be what's best for what they're bowling on or what they're trying to do. So if they get a chance to throw the other bowling balls and see the more mid-lane motion or whatever kind of motion they're looking for, then they can make an informed, intelligent decision and hopefully be happy with the product long term.
Right. But I mean, again, it all goes back to matching up.
Absolutely.
Just like you're telling your guys out here out on tour, it's all about the right lane condition, the right ball speed and all that, and the right equipment. So, if you don't have a pro shop in your area offering Try Before You Buy, you need to find one. Go to our website, tryturbo.com. We have a listing of about 100 pro shops throughout the country that are offering the service and more to come. So thanks so much, Chuck, for being here today.
Thank you. Enjoyed it very much.
Thank
you.